Hi, friends. It's Sheryl from Tutoring with Sheryl and the tech coach for tutors at Tech Tutor Innovate. And I am just hopping online this morning to chat for a little bit to answer some questions that I see very, very frequently in Facebook groups that I help monitor and I chat on, and also that I, my own page. I don't have a group, I just have a page. But a lot of times people are like, how do you tutor online? Like, how did you do that? And so I just want to talk to you just a little bit about that because I think it's really important that people understand that it's probably not as difficult as you think it is. Okay, it's probably not that difficult. And so, number one, you need to identify what you want to teach. And I think as a tutor, for me, it was a little bit difficult when I first got started because I'm an elementary tutor. And I really thought that I could probably tutor just about anything. I'm a generalist, but yet I'm a specialist. And because I was really good at math, teaching math and seeing results in the classroom, I thought I'm going to market myself as an elementary math tutor. But I found a lot of frustration in that because I didn't probably have the right teaching tools for online. In person was not a problem. It was the online portion that was a little bit of a challenge for me. So I decided that I was going to maybe start to take reading students. And I had a request for a student in the Omaha metropolitan area. And I'm like, I totally know how to do this. Why am I not doing this? And I mean, along the way, this young girl has gone from virtually not being able to read to almost being at grade level. I've got lots of stories like that. We don't have to get into those stories. What I really wanted to talk to you about was how do you get started? Because I think that's the hardest part, is just knowing what to do. And you can start with one student. Okay, you can volunteer to do some work for free for somebody, or you can contact a parent and find out if they need a little extra help with their students. You can politely ask somebody at the school if you can speak to somebody that might be able to help you get in contact with another person, a friend of a friend of a friend, and see if there's somebody that might need a little bit of extra help. And I think that's the real problem, is you can't, as a private educator, you can't just say, here, I'll take all your problems, because public schools, private schools, they're not super interested in that. What they are interested in is having a bank of people that they can come back to. Now, Demetra, I cannot come up with your last name, but Demetra, a mutual friend of mine through Facebook and other tutoring groups, she joined like the Partners for Education in her school district. And she shows up for different events. And Yolanda Duguay probably did something very similar to that. She did an open house. There was some sort of an Partners in Education that she did an open house, and she gave some free things away. I have also done, the sun is in a bad spot. I've also done, I've attended parades and I've handed out things. I've taken my brochures to school, offered them up, whether they hand them out or not, that's totally up to them. But what I found the most effective to sharing my message is my Midwest Tutor page. There it is. It's opposite. My Midwest Tutor page is really, really good for sharing information. And I have a contact form right on there. And then also going on social media. But I'm not really here to talk about my own tutoring, because this is my Tech Coach for Tutors page. And what I really want to talk to you, I'm really talking to tutors, okay? And my message to you is, well, number one, it's hard work. Number two, you have to lay a path for yourself. And you have to figure out, one, what are you going to teach? Two, are you going to teach in person or online? Or are you going to be a hybrid teacher who does both? Three, you have to figure out how much time you have available and your resources. And then you can start to kind of move forward. And that's just always been a challenge for a lot of people, just trying to sort that out. You know, one of the very best things that I have done, and I started this, 34 years ago as a brand new teacher. I had a wonderful principal, Chuck Griffith. Hi, Chuck. If you're watching, hi, Chuck. And he really encouraged me to write out all the months of the year and create a yearly plan for myself. And that has just stuck with me. And then I always had a paper planner until, the last few years of my teaching, I just chose not to use a paper planner, and I went and I was using spreadsheets to kind of plan things out. I'm a long range planner. And now I have turned that idea of planning into what I call ed hubs for learning. And as I get each new student, they get their own little hub. Gosh, I'm trying to figure out where to sit so the sun isn't quite so bright in my eyes. I have a shade, but I don't have a curtain. So that always creates a bit of a problem. So I'm very sorry about that shadow there. So in my Ed Hubs for Learning, which is basically just a Google Classroom, I set things up for students and I have their plan there. Okay. And then my students join me at the link inside of the Google Classroom that I embed in there. And then boom, I have my class. So I'm working on the Google Meet, but my classroom is open for both of us so that if we need a link, we can just go back and forth. And it works out really, really well for me. But I didn't get those students right away. I had to share my message with other people. And I had to make it a daily thing. And it's just really, really hard to do when you first get started, because all these people say, wait a minute, how do you do that? You mean you don't work for a company? Well, friends, I did work for a company. I worked for a company the last 2 years of my teaching in public schools. And that was because of the pandemic. And I was working in the evenings and supporting students that way. But I found that they weren't really paying me my worth. Okay. And as a teacher with an undergraduate and a graduate degree, and the amount of planning that went into each one of those students, $15 an hour wasn't going to cut it. And so I charge more than that. I can have a private conversation with you if you want to know about that, because I'm not putting that out there right now. But I do that because I have to. I have to consider my time and my expertise and how quickly I can move students forward in their learning. And, I just was having a conversation with somebody through Messenger they were asking me, well, how much should I charge? And, I can't tell you how much you should charge. I really can't. But what I can tell you is working $5 an hour, $10 an hour. That's, we don't pay our doctors that. Our doctors are trained, educators are trained. And I think that we need to consider that when we're hiring people to teach our children, what is their expertise? And, when you have the knowledge and the background to do what you can do, and that you can make, how do I want to say it? You can help people move forward. That's the beauty of all of it. I mean, we can make things happen. End of subject, I guess. So I think it's really important that we understand that we have to value ourselves, and then the people that want to work with you will work with you. And if they don't want to work with you, that's okay, because there is somebody else out there that's willing to work for a lower dollar amount. But I can't do it. Not for the amount of time that it takes me to prepare for those lessons and then to move students forward. Now, when I say it takes me a long time to prepare for those lessons, that's years of experience and then putting everything together in a plan for that student, managing those things for that student, communicating with the parent about how things are going, and then, just my time during those meetings and making sure that I'm there. So in the Tech Hub for Tutors, what I do is I teach teachers, tutors, educators, how I do this. And it's not something that you just wake up necessarily knowing how to do. If you've never been in a classroom and you've never instructionally designed something, sometimes that's a really challenging thing to wrap your head around. I'm not saying that you can't do it. I'm just saying sometimes you have to wrap your head around it. And there are some very specific steps that I guide teachers through. And in the Tech Hub for Tutors, we also meet twice a month. You're invited into live trainings where I take you through some very specific steps. But I also am very aware that educators are extremely busy, and I can't always find the right time to meet with everyone. So what I do is during those live workshops, I actually videotape them or record them. I guess that's the new word. Videotape would be the old camera. See, that's how old I am. So I record them, and then I share them in the Tech Hub for Tutors so that these busy teachers can come back and they can look at that information. So I would like to invite you, if anybody is interested in joining the Tech Hub for Tutors, make sure that you reach out to me. You can find all my information at midwesttutor.com. Make sure that you go to the Tech Hub for Tutors link on my page so that you can kind of see what's going on. Actually, I could probably show it to you because I'm doing this in StreamYard, not directly on Facebook. So let me pull that up here real quick. Sorry, I've got a different one that keeps popping up. All right. So for all of you new tutors that are out there, this would be something I would encourage you to do. I would encourage you to have a page, whether it's just a page or an entire website. Mine is a website where you're blogging and you're sharing information. And so I finally have this set up so that each time I share new information with parents, they're going to get an email on it. If I share it with other tutors, they're going to get an email on it. So this is my blog page where all that information goes. But if you're looking for me as the Tech Hub for Tutors, you go to the Tech Coach for Tutors, and then you'll find all the information about what's going on at the Tech Hub for Tutors, that we're building out an event for tutors that you can come to for free. You can go and check that all out on your own. And then when you scroll a little bit lower, you can see what's going on at the Tech Hub for Tutors, and reminders and different things. You can send me a message there, because I know it's really hard to get started. I mean, it's just really hard to get started. And I really thank Joanne Kaminsky, because I bought her book and I watched all of her videos. I thank Esme Lozano for helping me figure out social media. That was great. So I've hired people to help me. I thank Michael Gibbon for working with me, not only as a mentor, but also for allowing me to purchase some great tools. I thank Kelly, Michelle Dramsky, and Yolanda Duguay for being teammates, partners. We meet, we chat, we develop things, we inspire things. You need to find community. And so I invite you to come and join my community at the Tech Hub for Tutors. And again, I am the Tech Coach for Tutors. And I really help you kind of wrap your mind around that. All right, well, guess what today is? It is my stepdad's birthday, and we're going to go to lunch in just a little bit. And I have a few other things that I need to do. Happy birthday, Jerry. I love you, and I can't wait to celebrate your day. So I'm going to end this stream by saying, please join me at midwesttutor.com. If you have not found my podcast on Spotify or YouTube, you can look me up under Tutoring with Sheryl, Tech Coach for Tutors. I am there. And you can just listen to my story and join along as I explore things that are going on in both my own personal tutoring business, and then also the ways that I'm also supporting tutors just like you. You guys make it a great day and keep the learning going.